House Speaker Nancy Pelosi told reporters that Democrats are going to pass both bills of President Biden's Build Back Better plan despite missing the intended October 31st deadline. She said, "I was very unhappy about not passing this last week."
Could you just project this week a little bit what you expect? Do you expect to vote tonight? And is it possible that you might just vote on the infrastructure bill considering everybody seems to be bought in and saying it's ready for a vote?
No.
Okay, so do you anticipate a vote on Build Back Better today, and what are the big hurdles you have to overcome?
I'll let you know as soon as I wish to. But you're just worried about your own schedule. I know that. But the fact is that our members are engaged in very thoughtful deliberation with each other. As I said to you before, 90% of this bill has been agreed to, House, Senate, White House, and written. We made some changes since last week. People need to familiarize themselves with it. That was the purpose of our meeting this morning. As I said, it made me very proud and was inspired by just once again hearing the depth of knowledge and breadth of vision of our colleagues. And we'll let you know. But I think many of you know I was really very unhappy about not passing the BIF last week. I really was very unhappy because we had an October 31st deadline. And I thought that eloquent, but not enough, I guess. So now we're going to pass both bills, but in order to do so, we have to have votes for both bills, and that's where we are.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. You just mentioned that you don't want members to vote on something that may not have a good prospect when it goes over to the Senate. When it comes down to paid family leave, which is now included in this bill, Senator Joe Manchin believes that it shouldn't be in this bill. Do you believe that the president can convince him otherwise? And what's your message to Senator Manchin on why it deserves to be in this bill?
Well, I don't make it a habit of talking to Senator Manchin on the TV. We're friends. I respect him. He's a good person. He's agreed to so much that is in the bill. Universal pre-K and child care, agreed to the Affordable Care Act expanded to embrace those who are left out of the Medicaid, especially our seniors who depend on that for long-term care. He's been supportive of the child tax credit. There's so many things, home health care and the rest. Some of the stuff in green, we're not finished with that yet, but we've had some areas of agreement there. So, but the fact is, there's one difference between some of these issues, like hearing. It's not for hearing in the bill. Hearing has a very broad universal support in our caucus. In terms of family medical leave, that has big, broad, it's no sacrifice for anybody to vote for something that might not see the light of day. And these, we hope, will see the light of day. We can afford it. It's universal. It's compromise. 4 weeks. I'd rather have it longer. I want it 6 weeks because that's when little babies can finally be able to go to child care, but nonetheless, 4 weeks. So my message to, not Joe Manchin, I mean, we talk enough, he knows what my message is, but with all the respect in the world for the point of view he represents, I disagree. I think that this is appropriate for this legislation. It fits very comfortably with child care, health care, home care, family and medical leave, and it has the full support of our caucus. There are other issues that
This bill is not what Americans need. It's providing tax cuts to rich instead of taking money from them.
I've got some thoughts I'd like to share with the media and with the country about what's going on in the House. There's an effort, I think, today to start the process to pass a reconciliation bill, not just a bipartisan $1.3 trillion infrastructure package, which I voted for, but a bill that I think is a fraud, that's going to be pouring gasoline on inflation problems we have in the country, and the reconciliation bill in the House rewards special interest at the expense of the public at large. So there's the process and there's the substance. When we passed our tax cut bill in 2017 using reconciliation, Republicans held hearings in committees in the Senate. We had markups, and people had a chance to weigh in as to what we were doing. In the committee process, we had hearings so the public could understand how the tax cuts worked. None of that has been done. The more you know about the Democratic proposal, the less you would like it. At the end of the day, people are going to have to be informed meaningfully about what's in these packages. And as of this moment, it's all behind closed doors. We're sort of guessing as what's going to make it. After the elections Tuesday night, Speaker Pelosi added in provisions. She's getting pushed from the left. So the product coming out of the House, if it makes it over here, is dead on arrival until we get a CBO score. Now, they settled on a $1.75 trillion reconciliation package, is what they say. Our Democratic colleagues say about the latest reconciliation bill. Well, the Wharton School of Business did an analysis, and they believe it's more than $4 trillion. Now, the Wharton School of Business, I don't think it's a bastion of right-wing politics. They went through the $1.75 trillion bill and found out it's really more like $4 trillion because there's so many games and gimmicks in the bill. And this is why you need to have hearings. So I'm the ranking member of the Budget Committee, and I promise you I will invite these folks from Wharton to come in and explain their analysis to us. Whether or not Senator Sanders allows me to do that as part of the committee, I will do it as a side event. But I want the public to understand that the bill being sold to you as $1.75 trillion is in essence closer to $4 in my view. A lot of the programs are shortened, knowing that they will never go away. There are a lot of games and gimmicks, and so it's actually over double what they say it is. What does that mean to you? That means more debt for you and your children, and that means more inflation at a time we don't need anymore. So number one, the price tag is being manipulated, and I think it's a fraud, and we'll ask the Wharton people to come and explain their analysis. There's some provisions in this bill that are just mind-blowing to me. I believe climate change is real. I think electric vehicles will help solve the problem over time. There are tax credits in the tax code today to incentivize people to buy electric cars in the name of expediting lowering emissions in the transportation sector. And electric vehicles will certainly do that over time.